Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to show off this new DadBuild. Huge shout out to people who contribute to this. Real big shout out, first of all, to my friend xPiesces, who pretty much put this together for me. I gave him like the parameters. Okay, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. You know, I want to be able to do this, but it's got to be that. And he's like, okay, let me do this and do this, and let's try this one and everything. And he says, if it works, I'll take credit, but if it doesn't, don't blame me. So I'm giving him some credit on this one. A lot of fun, and I asked a few other people, ideas or things about it. But it actually was something that xPiesces and I had been looking at for a while. Was a heavy attack build, a viable, easy DadBuild heavy attack build that for people who can't do the light attack weaving very well. You know, a lot of us are getting older and it hurts our hands, you know, after a while if we try to do all the light weaving stuff, and it's, you know, we're getting to be older gamers, and it takes a little bit. So we initially were working on something like this with a DK, and that DK heavy attack turned into the Warden heavy attack, and then those heavy attacks turned into light attacks, and then turned to, hey, can't we do a theme of Frost? And that kind of developed into Frostagon, which you guys seen in previous videos. And that's blossomed. So many people are using like the Frostagon build. I love it. So I'm hoping people also like this one as well if they like Sork, because it's the initial premise of what we were trying to do is in here now. All right. So remember what a DadBuild is. All right. Doesn't work in most circumstances. Is it a lot of fun to play? And is it easy to acquire? And in this one, I'm going to add also, it's also easier on the player. Because light attack weaving can be really tough on the hands. And having a heavy attack build where you just have to push down the button for a little while, much more relaxing than that. So I wanted something fun. I wanted something with all those parameters. I wanted basically what I kind of call like the New Balance shoes of builds, where we've got something that's just very comfortable. It's very dad. It's very, you know, I always love the whole thing. I wear New Balance shoes. I love New Balance shoes. They're comfy. When you get older, the first time you ever wear New Balance shoes, you're like, oh, my feet are on pillows. All right. Hashtag not sponsored. Want to be sponsored. And so we came up with this thing, and that I think is going to be great. Now, there is a little bit of work to do with it. All right, because I don't want to give you something that's too easy. I want you to, once you get this build, that you feel like you've accomplished something. And once you have it and you use it, it's going to be really good. I've only had it for about a week now, and I've been testing it out and everything. My aim for it was, you know, for the high end to be able to do, normal trials and maybe a few of the vets, easier vet ones, and depending upon the group. Being able to do all of the normal dungeons and most of the vet as well. Maybe not hard modes, but again, matters who's in your group. You know, I've got some wonderful friends that are very good players, and they could definitely, not really carry me a little bit, but make up for any shortcomings that you could have with this build. I believe we did it. I went out and tested it in trials and in dungeons, and especially in public dungeons. Oh my gosh, if you're by yourself in a public dungeon, oh, this is great. Especially if you use like a companion. I've got Miri as a companion, and she's a decked out healer. Oh my gosh, it's so great to just go through. I just plow through stuff because there's a lot of AoE to this build. So it's very strong. It's not going to, if you parse it, I did do a few parsing just to kind of see where it was. Single target is not its jam in there. A single target parse, I think I was getting 44 K or something like that. So it's not going to be, if you're running with a group that has any kind of restrictions or that's not going to be it. And that's not really the foundation of what this build is all about. But I'll show you, just because I like doing the parses just to be able to get a rotation and everything. Yeah, it's like 44 was kind of my best. But oh my gosh, was it a nice relaxing 44. It was really, really good. So, and it will lack in a few things because it's a 1 bar build. I've only have 1 bar, so again, you do not have to worry about swapping back and forth between bars. It's going to be very relaxing in that way. So, so let's get to it. Let's look at the gear first. All right. You've got a monster set with this one. All right. So the monster set is going to be Stormfist. Stormfist's big thing is that when you deal damage, you have a 10% chance to create a Thunder Fist, this rock fist, to crush your enemy, dealing shock damage. Again, everything is based around shock. Did I forget to mention that? It's all about shock. Oh my gosh, that's what makes me so excited about it. Where everything for the dad build with Frostagon was frost. This is shock. I even call it Shocka, because there's a wonderful singer from my 80s that I always love, Shocka Khan. So we've got Shocka gone. So a lot of people my age will get that joke. So Shocka gone. So yeah. So it's all shock based stuff. All right. And why we do that is because one of the best heavy attack staffs in the game, and even animation in the games from a staff attack, is the lightning staff. All right. Having that lightning staff where I can just hold it down. I'm just holding down the button. I have not re-clicked. Oh, look at that. You actually saw the Stone Fist come up. Yeah, it gets activated by my heavy attacks. There you go. Look at that. I mean, talk about just fun. Right there, right off the bat, we're talking fun. Love it. All right. There we go. Get so excited with that. So that's Stormfist. Now, Stormfist comes out of the Tempest Isle dungeon that you do have to do on Veteran, but Veteran is not very difficult. And you can actually get a semi-good group to be able to go through there and to get that. And actually with the sticker book now, you'll be, even if you don't have friends that go with you to give you their helms, you will be able to eventually get it after a few tries. And it has to be on Veteran for it to drop for you. With that, you have to get the shoulders. Now, the shoulders are a little bit more difficult because you do have to do some undaunted pledges to get keys. Those keys will, and I can actually show you, because your keys show up down here, your undaunted keys. And so you have to go in there, and I've got them in medium because I'm going to talk about using the medium skill line to get a little bit more extra damage. But you don't have to. If it's a mixed, if you got a heavy and a light or something like that, that's okay as well. Like I said, it's more important that you get it to be able to have the Storm Fist ability proc on there more than anything else. And so my goal, you could go 2 light, you could go heavy and a medium, or 2 medium like I have. That's lots of options in there. All right. Within that is a set for the rest of the body pieces are going to be Infallible Aether. Now, Infallible Aether comes out of any of the Craiglorn trials. There's 3 of them in there. All right? And you can get it on normal. Now, I know a lot of you might, as soon as I say trials, you're like, wait, this isn't like Frostagon where we could just buy them. I know, this one is just a little bit more difficult to get. But normal trials are a lot easier to get with like a pug group or anything like that. And all 3 of those Craiglorn trials drop this. So the drop rate to get a set of this is is pretty easy to do. All right, a few times through it, maybe, and you'll have all the pieces. Yeah, so even pugging a group on normal, very easy content to get through in a pug. So don't be fearful of it. And then if you've got a group of friends and you're in a guild or something that want to go for a run for that, and then everybody can give you their Infallible Aether because it drops really well, you'll have it. So again, something that you have to work towards, and you'll feel a great sense of accomplishment when you've got it. The jewelry you can actually buy. Yeah, the jewelry you can actually buy. It's actually willpower jewelry. It drop. I forget where it drops now, but it's like I think it drops off of starter area stuff or anything. Very easy to get in there. All of them, the necklace and the 2 rings of willpower. And then, all right, this one looks big, but you don't have to get the perfected version like I have. All you need to get is the normal Maelstrom lightning staff. All right. Again, going to be a little bit of work. You got to go into normal, which isn't too bad. All right. And the more that you go through normal, the easier it'll become to finish in there. So this was a little bit more work in that sense than the Frostagon, because those sets that you could buy. But this is going to help you out so much with the skills that we've chosen for you to be able to do. All right. So lightning staff, because you're not going to have anything on the back bar. The lightning staff is going to have precise and shock on it. All right. Your necklace and jewelry are going to have spell damage and arcane. You're going to have divines on all of your IA, your infallible aether, and divines as well on your medium pieces of Stormfist. All right. All of this put together, a little bit of work to go out and get, but once you've got this, you're going to be set. Let's look at the skills. All right. The skills that we have chosen on here, your unstable wall, and it becomes unstable wall of storms when you've got a lightning staff. Your undaunted orb, all right, in the undaunted, you're going, oh, I can actually, look at that. I want mystic orb, not energy orb. I want mystic orb because I want to do damage with it. Boom. All right. You can tell I've just started working on this guy. Lightning flood. Structured entropy. I like this one. This comes out of the Mages Guild. All right. And this is the heal morph. It gives you healing when you do damage. Because with this, we're not going to get a lot of healing. The only these two things at the end, structured entropy and crit surge, are giving you healing and damage at the same time. All right. So critical surge is upping your spell damage and dealing a critical damage. You're going to get some healing back. So both of these are for that. And then the Destro ulti, and it becomes Thunderous Rage. All right. The rotation for this is that you want to start off. I always put my buffs towards the right side of my bar. It's just me. But you do crit surge to start. Then you do unstable, ball, lightning flood, and then entropy, especially if it's single target. You give yourself some healing as you're doing it. All right. So if you can see, if I'm battling against this guy, I'm going to have that. Boom. I throw down the wall of lightning. I throw a ball out. I throw that lightning down. And then I do a structured entropy. And then I'm going to town just holding down my button. There you go. If you want to, and you feel like your hands can take it, again, this is your hands are kind of the key point in here. You could fit a light attack in between those. When I was doing the parsing, that's what I was trying to do, is get a little bit of a light attack thing. So what I did is I would start off with the ultimate, which is now charged up. I start with the other. I lay that down, put on my 5. Then I go light attack wall, light attack ball, light attack the AoE, and light attack the entropy. Ooh, that kind of rhymed. Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to do that, that would add to the damage, your damage output, but you don't have to. Just putting down that, going down the list, boom, and you'll be all set with the lightning. I love that staff. This staff with that animation is really cool. It's the new Spellscar staff. Yeah, in the Crown Store. Really looks good with this build. I like it a lot. So, food, I still use the same old Solitude food that I use from my other stuff. Solitude Salmon Millet. And I use just the regular Magicka pots if I need Magicka. That's the other great thing about this. You will never need Magicka. You have to work really hard. Because remember, heavy attacks get your Magicka back. Alright, so even if I use all of this stuff, alright, let's hit all my buttons. Let's keep going. Get it all the way down. Boom. Put all my attacks again. Get that Magicka all the way down. As soon as I do my heavy attack, boom, it's going to be coming all the way back. Real easy. Yeah. And since you're going to, like I said, you're going to be heavy attacking everything anyway. And all that heavy attacking, look at that. That gets your ultimate back lickety-split. So hit your 5 button. Boom. Let that go. Put down all of your stuff. Boom. And let the heavy attacks go. No bar swapping necessary. See, all my magic is all the way back. I'll do it like 3 times, and then I'll hit all my things again. Boom. Boom. I don't even have to hit my number 5 this time. There you go. Magicka all back up to full. Yeah. And that's just me holding down. So very, very easy on the hands rotation. And you're doing a lot of great damage. And again, it's lightning. It looks cool. Now, I'm also a little biased that I'm not using any pets. So you probably could, that was one of the stipulations I gave Pisces. I'm like, I don't want pets. Pets fly around, they give them away, they're too big, everything, I don't want that. But if you want to swap out like the entropy healing for a pet to do damage, you could. If you wanted it as a healing pet, you could do that as well. Just like I said, you could add a companion to this, which would work out really great. So you'd have some good healing in there or some damage dealing. So consider that this dad build is really a great build to use with companions. I would say that it would be. Let me see. Anything else in there? Let's look at... We've looked at the skills. Of course, all the passes. Actually, this actually kind of saves you on a lot of skill points because you're not doing anything in the dark magic except, let's see, there's a couple of things that are just general passes that work in dark. Daedric Summoning, there's one. Reduces the cult of your ultimate abilities. That works. All of them in Storm Calling. In the destructive, you got Wall of Elements and Rage, so everything in here is going to work. By the way, your staff lightning and heavy attack is also splash damage because of the trifocus. So it gets nearby enemies, so that's why it's such a great AoE build. Armor, all of the light. And because of my 2 pieces of medium, I got all the mediums here. So... going to give me a little bit more of a crit damage and give me, especially, what was the other one? Agility. Give me spell damage for each medium. So a little 4%. It's a little bit more, as much as we can get, because we do lose out a bunch because we're only doing a 1-bar build and what we've kind of chosen for gear. Let's see. Fighters Guild, that's just general. Mages Guild. I got to work up my Mages Guild stuff. Probably going to take all the Mages Guild stuff because of entropy, so get all the Mages Guild. The Undaunted. Undaunted, get all, put points into these. Put points into their main skill. Alliance War, you're going to take just 1 point into that to get your fast riding. Especially as a lower character. And then everything into... Khajiit actually helps us out a lot in this one. Because of the crit damage. So it's actually a very good one to do. And I've got to start working on all my crafting for this guy. So yeah. So I'm working on it, same as you. Let me see. I think last thing is the CP points. CP points are pretty basic. We are going with Fighting Finesse, Weapons Expert, Thaumaturge, and Biting Aura. Probably the newest one that we haven't seen on other things is Weapon Expert, because Deadly Aim, you don't have any single target only damage going on there. You would have with the heavy attack, but when you put the trifocus on it, it becomes splash damage. It becomes AoE damage. So that weapons expert one is in the little purple section over here at the bottom. Increase your damage done with light and heavy attacks. So we get extra 15% damage. So, yeah. All right. So CP, food, pots, all that stuff. We're looking pretty good with our Magicka overall. 34k, 24k health, 34-39 for spell damage is good. Our spell crit is a little bit low. That's why we're using the Thief in there. So we're not based a lot on crit damage in there. So yeah. And I've got to work on my writing stuff too. So there we go. Yeah. So wonderful build. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Everything very, very easy on the hands, easy to do. Lay down all of your dots, all that stuff, and then do your heavy attack. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I said, a great shock build. And also isn't overwhelming visually. The lightning looks amazing. I was also one of those that visually I didn't like having the pets, and I didn't like having the, like in a stamina build, this is a Magicka build. Oh, I should have pointed that out too. All points in the Magicka. I didn't like having the stamina version of it where you would do the the thundering vortex that spins around you. I'm forgetting what that's called. The storm rage thing there, because it makes your character disappear, and so all you just see is bright white light the whole time when you're battling, and just sensory. For me, that was a little bit too much. So this should help with that. So it's not going to be so bad sensory wise. It is relaxing. It does a lot of great damage in there. It takes a little bit of more work than the Frostagon as far as acquiring the pieces, but once you've got the pieces, they work very, very well together. Very well together. And I think you'd be able to find the gear fairly easily. And with the sticker book, if this is a secondary character for you, you can go into those other dungeons on a higher character and then just make the sticker book stuff we did. That's what I ended up doing. I had a lot of these pieces already. So, all right. So it's a brand new build with this. Again, thank you for people that contributed to it, and also people who just wanted to help out and show what they had for our friend Catatonia. Showed me what her heavy attack build looked like. I think Iffy helped a little bit, but it was mostly my friend Pisces that put this all together, and we've been looking at this for trying to find a viable heavy attack for people with hand problems or just get tired and want to swap to something that's a little bit easier for a little while. So I think we found it. We found the New Balance shoes of ESO. So yeah. Excellent. Well, if you have any question or anything like that, this build might evolve as we go forward. That's what Frostagon did, and we were able to evolve that more and more. So who knows? Who knows what we'll get into with this. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Let me know what you think about this build. Yeah, let me know. So I think it'll work, and let me know if you're trying it too. All right. I will see you all later. Thanks so much. Bye.